My name is Lita. I am currently the county treasurer in Hidalgo County. I am seeking a third term. I've been there 7 years now. And in the 7 years I've been there, I have served to the best of my abilities, of course, and proud of the work we've accomplished little by little. Progress can be slow sometimes, running into a couple of challenges, but as a chief investment officer, or the investment officer for the county, I have been most proud of the accomplishments made right there, and just generating interest each year, going up. Some years better than others, but yes, that's well, I know we'll be talking a little bit more about that pretty soon. Okay, so as we know, of course, transparency is very important for Hidalgo County. And we want to have something pretty simple for taxpayers to see what it is we're doing. Safeguarding our money is the number one priority, given that it's a pretty large amount of money that we have there. We're just talking about over $100 million in the bank each on a daily basis. So in my previous terms, I have maintained an open door policy with our taxpayers and our employees. We do have an investment committee, which the county judge sits on, our budget officer, and then we have 2 members of the community as well, 2 bankers. Now we need as much to do. I provide quarterly reports to the commissioner's court that we submit, and I will, since everything is digital, I don't have the paper, but just I'm not going to be able to completely understand, but we have pretty much, this is a graph as to where we hold our funds, Texas pools, instruments, and then just columns here as to how much is invested and how much we're earning. So this is provided on the website. It's on our website, and it's given to the Commissioner's Court on a quarterly basis. Okay. Well, given that we are a government organization, is we have to follow closely the rules of the, sorry, I have to look here. I can't believe I'm forgetting it. The Texas Public Funds Investment Act. I mean, that's on my mind every day. So the easy things, you can slip your mind sometimes. And one of the most important things in investment, our priority is always the preservation of the principal and the liquidity, which is pretty much your cash flow, to meet our county obligations. And as I said, given that we follow the Public Funds Investment Acts, we're a little bit limited. We don't buy stocks, don't invest in those kind of revenues. So one of the things we like to focus heavily on is our U.S. Treasuries and government-backed securities, high-quality agents, and that are fully collateralized deposits. Also, just as important is our diversification and risk management, so that we can ensure that the county is not overly concentrated in one part. So just for instance, just equally dividing money. You don't want to have 90% of our funds in one pool and then 10% in another. That's what a diversification is. Well, since I entered this office, our bail bond board has entrusted me as a secretary of the bail bond board and the / treasurer, which means all applications come into my office, renewals, new applications. We review that. My office reviews that. I do that, where we evaluate the licensing, the compliance, or financial requirements of each company. And of course, we have the checklist in accordance with Chapter 1704 of the Texas Government Code. I'll make sure all those obligations are fulfilled, in which then, in turn, I meet with what's called the application committee and present to them. Everything's good, but really I do the bulk of the work in reviewing these licenses, making sure they're accurate. They're on time too. When renewed, we have strict deadlines as to the renewal and making sure they're that because we meet once a month, the bail bond board. So if a renewal is taking place like the 17th versus the 3rd, then we have to accommodate this renewal so that it does not expire, and then the company will have to, or else the company will have to start all over again. We do not want that. But my role as a county treasurer as well, whether an officer or not, is just ensuring accountability and adherence to our state law.
Thank you. Our last question. What does financial stewardship mean to you in a high poverty county like Hidalgo?
We must take this seriously. We are managing a lot of money, and it's just like you said. Hidalgo County is probably the 9th largest county in the state of Texas out of 257 counties. So that's quite a bit of responsibility right there. So any mismanagement of funds, be it like mistakenly for whatever reason, affects the residents of Hidalgo County. That's $1 less for projects that could be done. We, like you just said, mentioned, too good. So it is important that we pay attention accurately and manage these funds correctly, protect these funds. And that involves avoiding any unnecessary risks, be it risks, be it, as I mentioned, I apologize right there, be it the daily management of our daily balances, or even cybersecurity, because as you've seen, people are trying to get creative with us quite on a daily basis. They're getting out there. So we do have a couple of fraud prevention levels in place where all my staff does take cybersecurity training course. And then in addition to that, your daily common sense reminders, hey, we don't give any information over the phone. For instance, our county employees want to change their payroll information. We either need them to provide a lot of information or come into my office and do the appropriate paperwork. So there are a lot of steps taken to protect the taxpayer, the employee, and our county.